Welcome back and thank you for staying with KTN News Desk. The Senate will on Tuesday decide whether an 11-member team formed by the House Business Committee will conduct impeachment hearings against Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru or will stand or not. Already some of the members proposed are opting out of the committee, insisting on the more popular plenary route, which sunk former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu. Waiguru was impeached on Tuesday of allegations of abuse of office and gross violation of the Constitution. The motion was backed by 23 MCAs out of 33. 4 other ward representatives who attended the sitting abstained from the vote. Let's now speak to Narok Senator Ledama Olekina on what exactly is likely to happen tomorrow. Thank you very much, Senator, for making time to join us here on KTN News Desk. What should we expect tomorrow from the Senate?
Thank you very much. This is a normal procedure. In fact, tomorrow, nothing much is expected to happen tomorrow. The charges will be read, and then the Speaker will make a communication on whether or not it is a committee that has been proposed or whether we on plenary. As a senator, currently, I'm not aware of any committee having been constituted. So tomorrow is when we'll be given that information, and then we'll either decide to vote. If indeed it happens that the House Business has proposed to have a committee, then we'll vote for it. And the majority will always have their way. If the majority of the senators feel like a committee is the one that can deal with the matter, then it will go that way. But if the majority of the senators feel like plenary would be a better option, then it will also go that way. The only problem that I'm seeing is that this matter is out there even before we ourselves, the senators, have been communicated to and been given information as to what the House Business Committee has decided.
You mentioned 2 processes, the plenary and the special committee. For the sake of our viewers, kindly elaborate on both the processes.
On the committee, nothing will become final. It still has to be brought back to the plenary. So if they decide that the committee is the one which is going to look at this, it is going to be like in court, in a court where you go through the documents, you figure out whether there is a case to be answered, whether all the procedures were followed. And then if the committee finds that there is a case, then they will table their report in the House. And then if they say they are recommending that Waiguru be impeached, then it will now be reduced to a minimum of 24 senators to be able to vote. And these are elected senators who are heads of the delegations. Like Narok County is 1 delegation. If we decide to go the plenary way, the Speaker or the clerk will read the charges, or the Speaker actually will read the charges, and then from there, the procedure will follow the way it happened with the 2 sides. Now, it will be Waiguru's side, and also it will be the MCA side bringing up the charges, and then Waiguru would answer those charges, and then we will sit down there, and then for us, we'll either affirm those charges or find that she doesn't have a case to answer.
So in the event that she is saved, what happens to the people of Kirinyaga? Are we likely to see another impeachment? Is that possible?
I don't think that's the right question to ask at this time, because it's saying in the event that she's saved. You know, the first thing for us in the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, we are there to represent the interests of the counties and their governments. I think that's a question that you can ask later in the event that, the debate is concluded, because I cannot tell you that Jesus Christ will come tomorrow. So what will happen is that we proceed with the procedures. If Waiguru is found to be in breach of the Constitution, there are articles in the Constitution which are very clear, from Article number 179 all the way to Article 182 of the Constitution, on what happens if there is a vacancy in the office or if the governor is being removed. So really, I think it would be fair for the people of Kirinyaga and also for the Senate of the Republic of Kenya to be given an opportunity to prosecute the matter, look at whether Governor Waiguru is guilty or whether she's innocent.
Thank you very much, Senator Narok, Senator Ledama Olekina. They're just giving us what we should be expecting tomorrow. Senate is expected to hold a special sitting to decide the procedures on how to hear Governor Anne Waiguru's impeachment case. Now, once again, Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Ngujiri Wambugu is locking horns with Chief Justice David Maraga over the latter's allegations against President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, we want to speak to lawyer Steve Ogola on that issue. Steve, thank you very much for joining us here on KTN News Desk. Now, we saw Chief Justice David Maraga tweet the judicial independence is being undermined. Is this the case?
Thank you, Ashley. There is a good reason for the Chief Justice to feel apprehensive that the independence of the judiciary is under attack. There are two reasons for that. First, there is the failure on the part of the President to appoint the 41 judges that were recommended to him by the Judicial Service Commission. Secondly, there is the question of the budgetary cuts. If you recall, in the budget 2020-2021, the judiciary has received less funding than even the Nairobi Metropolitan Service. And then, of course, you've seen what has been shared in social media. So I feel the Chief Justice is well placed in feeling apprehensive that the judiciary is under attack by the executive.
Raised the issue of the 41 judges. Now, Article 172 of the Constitution states that the Judicial Service Commission shall recommend to the President persons for appointment as judges. It is a recommendation. So was the President wrong to refuse?
No, the President does not have the liberty of rejecting those names. Just to be sure, I argued that case on behalf of the Law Society of Kenya. And the court said that the President does not have the liberty, which is also the position communicated by the LSK President Nelson Harvey. That is the position that I presented in the court. The President does not have the liberty of interfering with the list provided to him by the JSC. The reason is it is part of our institutional design of safeguarding the independence of the Judicial Service Commission. If you give the President the power to interfere with the list, then you take away the independence of the JSC. And the Constitution is very deliberate that both the JSC and the judiciary should be insulated from external political influence. So there is no way, even at the Court of Appeal, that the court will reach a level where we now recognize the President has a right to interfere with the list provided to him. So that is just a matter that is settled in the law. And for clarity and avoidance of doubt, Ashley, this is not the first time. In 2015, the High Court made similar pronouncement on the issue. So the state knows very well that it does not have the kind of liberties it is purporting to exercise.
Right. So let's go back to that tweet. Yesterday, the CJ tweeted a video and said this has been developed by bloggers. What does this mean for the, for lack of a better word, respect towards the judiciary? Should he have gone that way of tweeting it?
The answer is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that the judiciary is constantly under attack and the judiciary is lacking allies. The only known ally to the judiciary is the Law Society of Kenya. The public is not rallying behind the judiciary in the way the Constitution had anticipated that the public would be at the forefront of defending the judiciary. So without known allies, the judiciary finds itself in an awkward position where scandalous and damaging material are being shared, content is being shared online, and they are wondering whether they should respond or not. So I think the Chief Justice could as well be right in taking matters into his own hand, quote unquote, by seeking to clarify. Because if there is no clarification, then it means that those claims or such kind of reputational injury may gain clout or may gain some kind of value or validation among Kenyans. But no, in the sense that in a perfect setting, Ashley, you don't expect the Chief Justice and the President of the head of the judiciary and the President of the Supreme Court to be responding to social media communication that is intended to mock the judiciary. Because how far can he go in responding? So in a perfect setting, the judiciary would just ignore. But if you look at the context in which this damaging information is being shared online, the context of an exerted or maybe sustained effort by the executive to control the judiciary, then you'll find that it is easier to understand or sympathize with the Chief Justice when he seeks to clarify or maybe respond to such kind of blog. So it is yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve Ogola, who is a lawyer. They're just shedding light on this.